Now we're live on multiple things here. Doesn't show me on Patreon though. Maybe I can only do one at a time. Let's check this out and make sure we are live everywhere. Are we live? It says I am live on Facebook, at least on my regular page. And can't tell if I'm live on there or not. Oh well. Welcome in everybody. How you doing tonight? Merry Christmas. Audacious Amber, how you doing? Playing around with some stuff, trying to go live on both of my Facebook pages, and I'm having some issues with that. I can seem to only be able to go live on one of them at a time. It is what it is. How you doing tonight, Amber? Did you have a good Christmas? I don't even know what I'm talking about tonight. Just kind of bored. I wanted to take a nap today, and I ended up sleeping for 5 hours. I don't know if that qualifies as a nap anymore. I think that at that point, it just becomes a sleep. Yeah, right, right. Um, and I didn't expect my wife to let me sleep that long, but she loves me and she knew I was tired. So she just let me sleep. Maybe she just wanted a break. And that could be because sometimes I want a break from me too. Yeah. So did you have a good Christmas? Did you get everything that your heart desired? That could be. This might not even be real life. I was hoping that if I woke up in a different dimension, I'd be more wealthy, better looking, and not having to work anymore. Apparently, apparently, no matter which dimension I wake up in, I've got all the I've got to go to work. I'm Poe and I'm ugly. I don't even know if I'm going to get anybody in here tonight. It's Christmas. It could be just me and you, Amber. It could be. And this was unplanned. We got Poncho. Poncho, how you doing tonight? Like I said, this is very impromptu. I did one of these last night as well. Just bored. Um, Not really anything to specific to talk about. Talking about the new Patreon channel. If you haven't yet, I think there's a way I can put that up on the screen. Yeah, right there. You can go over to Patreon, become a member, get bonus content, and um, yeah, a couple extra bonuses on there. Just started it over the weekend, so yeah. But there's some members only episodes. You're going to get early access to all the upcoming episodes without the intros and outros and sponsor ads. Basically, all I'm going to do for Patreon is I'm going to clean up the audio and the video, put it up there for paying members to see without any of the extras. And it'll be less edited. So you're going to get some stuff that the general public will not see. And then I'm also going to start putting some of my comedy over there too. I know it's hard to believe that I can make jokes and be funny, but you're fine. You're fine. Um, yeah. So I'm going to start putting some of my comedy videos over there. I started late in summer, starting to make some Mountain Monster style videos of just me, where I put myself in some situations and some creatures show up, but very much in the style of Meth and Camp. So some tongue-in-cheek humor, a lot of a lot of adult humor, I guess you would put it. But that's all going to go on Patreon as some bonus content for everybody over there. And then I would like to offer cameos. Um, Back in the beginning of December, I had somebody reach out to me wanting me to do a birthday video for their granddaughter who listens to the show. And that was a lot of fun. So I think I'm going to start offering that. It won't be very much. Members, of course, would get a discount on that. But I had one of those cameos made up for my wife a couple years ago, and they can get pretty expensive, but she loved it. So, you know, nobody's going to love mine because I do a lot of roasts. Um, if you've ever been over on my TikTok, I've got a couple people that Kurt, how you doing tonight? I've got a couple people that I've roasted over there. I did. I did. How about yourself, Kurt? Did you have a good or Merry Christmas or a great holiday or Merry Christmas? Mine was pretty good. I tell a lot of people it's a great day when I'm not at work and get to spend time with family and yeah. So today I spent it with my wife and my stepson come over this morning. He still lives here in town. And then we went to the in-laws. I didn't bring it in. I got a really cool pullover um Bigfoot shirt, Bigfoot hoodie. And then I got this little guy here, a little Bigfoot playing the guitar, some other some other Bigfoot stuff. I plan on redoing my background. I'm going to put some shelves up. I've got a lot of books from my guests and things like that that I'd like to display back there. Um, so be looking for that over the next couple months. We'll be doing some upgrades to the studio here, if that's what you want to call my room. I guess it's a studio because this is what I do in here. Mine was, let me put it up here on the screen. Let me keep doing this here. Easier to read. That's right. That's right. And this is what I want to do. I want to come on here and talk to people. I don't know how many people I'll get in here. Like I said, this was unplanned. I didn't do any kind of promotion for it. I was just kind of bored. Wife's already in bed. That 5 hour nap has me kind of wired. I'll probably be up till 2 or 3 in the morning, but nothing better to do. I could be editing video. I could be, probably should be. That takes a lot of time. Um, but this is just as important as working on the video as doing the lives and interacting with people. And I enjoy doing it, even if it's only 3 or 4 people. Headed to bed soon. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably do this for maybe a half hour and then head to not really head anywhere, but I'll start doing some video editing and making some great content for all my subscribers. That's my goal anyway. I'm gonna change some things up a little bit. Um, there's not gonna be any sponsor ads for a while, so there we go. That was the first time you got an adult nap? Oh, is that what you call a nap when you're over the age of 18, or is that a nap where there's no time limit? Because that's what I had today. It's the no time limit nap. Didn't have to worry about screwing up my sleep schedule for tomorrow. I wish I could have told. Did you email me, Amber? Because I don't recall getting an email from you. 'Cause if you did, I apologize. Um, you can email me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com. 'Cause I read all the emails. Or are you saying you wish somebody would have I get you now. You wish you could have told encounters on your show, but you couldn't get anybody to email you. Got you. I'd come on and tell mine if you want. We can do that. I'm pretty busy for the next couple months, but anytime is there anything in your mind been thinking about? Just curious. I wish not really. I just come on here to interact a little bit, you know. I know that can be kind of boring sometimes, but I think sometimes when people start their lives and they have a basically a whole script, kind of leaves the fans feeling like they're just in the audience and there's no participation. I used to do a lot of lives over on TikTok, and I want to start doing more over there again. But this was my whole thing is I would come in and just interact with people, and that's how I'd get a lot of people to come in and tell their paranormal encounters. And how the show started really was through TikTok. That's nice. Yeah, me too. I had to take vacation day for tomorrow though. They wanted me to come in for one day after a holiday, and I'm like, nah, that don't sound like fun to me. I think I'm gonna take one next Friday too. 2 4-day weekends in a row. That sounds lovely. So yeah. I don't think we got anybody watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Excuse me. Everybody's on YouTube right now. That's all right. That's all right. Get more interaction when I have guests and stuff on here, but get more people watching, I should say. So what's everybody's plans for the weekend? What's everybody's goals for next year? Mine is to, of course, grow the and where he's just curious. I don't mind talking random stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So my goal for next year is to continue to grow the podcast. Um, I want to expand my reach a little more. One of the things that I've did just in the last month is I'm now on Apple Podcasts. I When I first started looking into Apple, they wanted to charge me, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay to put my podcast out there until it starts making money. And I think they do that for people that are not established because now all I did was apply and they put me up. So yes, I'm now on Apple. I'm on most of them. I know there's some out there that I just don't know about, but all the big ones I'm on there. YouTube. Like I said, I started Patreon. One of the other things I want to try is Rumble. I haven't been. I have an account over there, but I don't have anything set up yet. Just keep expanding my platform, and then I'd like to start a website this year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Patreon, that's the first step, I guess, towards setting up like a shop for merch and things like that. But yeah, I've just enjoyed doing the podcast. Of course, I'd like to make money from it. Who wouldn't? But I just enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy interacting with people on here and just learning, and meeting new people, meeting interesting people, hearing their encounters, and then it's given me opportunities to go places and do things that I would have never done before without the podcast. I went to Beachfoot last year. That would have never happened without the podcast and meeting people and making connections. Um, right now, the only thing that I have set in stone is for this year is Arkansas Cryptid Fest. That's in North Little Rock on June 6th. I will be there as a speaker and I'll have a booth set up. But that also coincides with my birthday. So if you want to give me a birthday gift, come to the Arkansas Cryptid Fest. Have your picture taken with me. I don't even care about selling stuff. I just like meeting people. Like we did Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree in October and sold a lot of mullets, but other merch, not really. And but the meeting people and making connections, that's my favorite part of going to the different festivals and things like that. People are cool, you know, and I haven't really met anybody that like I don't know that I didn't like. I guess is the word I'm looking for. Not really the word I'm looking for, but what I'm trying to say. There are people that get on my nerves, and as far as people that through the podcast and stuff, I've never met somebody who's like, man, I just don't want to talk to them again. Never met anybody like that. I'm sure it'll happen, but the fans are great. You know, the people that come in and interact. Never had an issue with any of them. Of course, you get your trolls. They're not fans. So, and I deal with trolls rapidly is the word I'm looking for there. I don't know why I'm stumbling so much tonight. Got plenty of sleep, 5 hours. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I slept too much. Brain's not turned on yet. So, yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here. Not really anything to talk about. Just wanted to come on and say hi to everybody, wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And no, I am from Ohio. I live in Indiana now. How about yourself, Kurt? If you don't mind me asking. Um, most of my encounters happened in Ohio, but my main encounter happened in Indiana. Indiana. I don't know if you want to call it main encounter or definite encounter. Let's put it that way. Happened in Indiana. A lot of my encounters are circumstantial. You know, could be, not sure, pretty sure. Where's your you shook if I would. Yeah. Yeah. Central PA. I've been out there. Um should check out what's his name? David Hardy. David Hardy's out that way. Um Maxim Furyk, he lives in PA. They've both been on the show. Oh, Pancho, you're in Indiana now? Like you live in Indiana or you're just in Indiana? 'Cause I'm like 20 minutes from the Ohio line. Well, I don't you got have you tried reaching out to them? Because I just like I'll send people a message and be like, "Look, I've got this little show and I like to talk paranormal and Bigfoot. You want to just sit down and have a conversation while I record it? Because that's what my show. Visiting Indiana now. Cool. If you're in the southern part, that's very beautiful down there, a lot of hills. If you're in the northern part, I feel sorry for you because all you're seeing is flatland. That's where I live in the flatland. But there's a lot of weird stuff in Indiana. I know Amber is a follower of Brandon from Tinfoil Tales. He's north of me, and he's got a lot of weird stuff. Like Muncie? I was in Muncie today. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not far from there actually. Yeah. I live in the Portland area. Yeah. I'm not from this area. That's where I live though. But Brandon over there, well, Marion's not too far from Peru. That's where Brandon's at. He's got a lot of weird stuff up there. Looking forward to his little documentary he's got coming out, which I will be in. You'll see the mullet on there. So this area really is weird. There's just not a lot to see as far as sights. A lot of haunted stuff, but as far as natural wonders, there's not a lot in this area. A lot of corn, a lot of corn, a lot of um, substances. Let's put it that way. Guys from Crypto the Corn, they're from northern Indiana as well. So I mean, there is a lot of weird, a lot of weird. Cryptids of the Corn, they're not far from me. They're in Ohio, but they're still in the flatlands of Ohio. So you don't get a lot of, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say you don't get a lot of cryptid encounters, but you do. Just not as many, I guess. Because, like I said, Brandon up there in Peru, he's got a bunch of reports of Bigfoot, Dogman, UFOs, all kinds of weird stuff going on up there. I know when you look at the mapping project, there's been Sasquatch sightings in my area, some weird howls, but there's been actual visual sightings, but not in a long time. Blondes and booze. Yeah, yeah. Actually, she's what's her name? She the one girl. What is her name? She's gonna be on my show. Yeah, I grew up in West Central Ohio, north of Dayton, but I spent my summers in the Chillicothe area, down around Hocking Hills and Tar Hollow State Park. Yeah, that whole part of Appalachia is weird. Um, that's down there is where I had my possible Bigfoot encounters. No, maybe hang on. Let me look up what her name is. Um, go to my email. Go back through my bookings here. Oh, that's not it. Natalie. Natalie. That's who it is. Natalie will be on the show. I think she is coming on in end of February. Yeah, it was Natalie. Yep, that's right. Yep, she'll be on the show. I was on Paranormal Among Us last week before, a couple weeks ago. I was on their show, and they're both coming on mine in February. So yeah, that was a good time. She has seen something similar to what I have seen, so I'm excited to hear about that. If people that don't realize this, but I do not listen to encounters before people come on the show unless I happen to catch them on somebody else's show, which I try not to. If I see that it's the same person, I usually stop it because I want to hear it for the first time. I'm excited to hear it for the first time. So, but Natalie said she had seen something similar to what I saw. So she's coming on the show to talk about that. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Paranormal Paul. Yep. He's coming on the show as well. They're both scheduled for end of February. That'll be fun. Um, yeah. Like I said, I'm booked up, I think, till the second week of March right now with guests. So got some interesting people coming on, some bigger names. I try not to do the same people that everybody else has on, because once you hear their stories, it's the same stories over and over. I try to get people that are bigger names, but not the big names. Because even I, I'll tell you this: I was supposed to have um, Jeff Meldrum on the show, and we were working out all the details of that, and then he got sick. So yeah, and then I got a message saying he wasn't doing any more interviews, and then it was like a week later. Yeah, he passed. So that was that was kind of sad because I would have liked to have talked to him one on one before, but yeah, you know, I like the encounters that people haven't heard. I don't know, or talking to the people that just like, well, I brought up David Hardy earlier. Um, not a lot of people had heard of him until the last year, and man, he's an amazing guy to talk to, and I think people will enjoy that. It's different. It's not the same people over and over and over again. That's kind of what Matthew's trying to do over there at Drunken Cryptids with the Arkansas Cryptid Fest, is to have people not the same names that you see everywhere. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm speaking there. You're gonna have you're gonna hear some new perspectives. Let's put it that way. Not that the old perspectives are wrong. It's just we've been doing it. Like, let's talk Sasquatch for a little bit. It's been the same techniques and same strategies for 50 freaking years, and we're no closer than we were with Patterson Gimlin. So let's expand it out. Just because people have different ideas don't mean, one, it doesn't mean they're going to work, but two, doesn't mean they're wrong either, just because it's different. So I think that it's a good approach to bring in people that are thinking outside the box, some different views. At least got to listen to them, because if you're not listening to everybody's theories, then you could be wrong and be missing out. So that's why when people come on the show and somebody might say, "Oh, Sasquatch is just a flesh and blood creature," and the next person comes on and says, "No, they're an interdimensional being," and I say, "You're right," because we don't know. Everybody's right. Nobody's wrong until we can prove one way or the other. But we got to talk to each other, because once you get stuck in that box that it can only be one thing, you could be missing out and not be able to prove anything. So that's what Matthew's trying to do with the Arkansas Cryptid Fest. Have some different viewpoints. Now, what I'm going to be talking about isn't anything, groundbreaking. Let's put it that way. Um, I think that some evidence has been overlooked, but it's not really groundbreaking. But it's just semantics, and that's the reason that people are overlooking some of the evidence for these creatures. And it's not even really a new theory. It's just got to keep people talking about it. Yeah, I agree with the truth. I feel it's come from younger. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that gatekeepers. That is very true. Um, I brought this up couple months ago in one of my lives, and it made some people mad that I would even suggest, "Oh my god, what do you mean?" I wasn't saying we gotta throw away all the research that's been done. It's you gotta take the old and add the new. But there's some people that are just they're so set, this is the way it is and this is the way it's gotta work, and I'm sorry, but that's not how science works, you know? You gotta keep expanding, and if we keep doing things the same way and not getting results, then that what's that? If you do something the same way over and over and expecting different results, it's the, definition of insanity. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what's happening with Sasquatch and other things like that. We keep trying the exact same things over and over and over and over. It's not working. It's not working. Gotta try something new. I'm not saying that it wouldn't work, but it hasn't worked yet. Maybe we need to add another element, just like vehicles. Horse and buggy work just fine. Somebody decided to put an engine in it. Now look at us. You know, science. Yeah, yeah. So when you listen to my show, I'll have people from all points of view come on the show because we have to listen to them all. I've had people on my show that I know, talk to, they're dead set that it's this way. Mm, no, that's what you experienced, and I get that. I'm not discounting your experience, but it's that old thing, you look at us where they draw that six on the ground, and the one person's looking at it from one point of view, and the other person's looking at it from the other point of view, and one says it's a nine, the other person says it's a six. They're both right. Doesn't just because your experience does not discount another person's experience. You ask somebody from the North Pole, water's solid. You ask somebody from the equator, water's liquid all the time. You know. All right, we've been going about 30 minutes. I think I want to shut this down. I appreciate everybody that come in tonight. Like I said, this was just impromptu, a little bit of bored, and I wanted to talk to some people. So make sure you're checking out Miss Monsters and Mullets on all your podcast players. And get this up here one more time. Make sure you're checking out Patreon if you want some bonus content. And I will be adding more and more to there. You're going to get all the episodes before everybody else in about a month in advance, and some bonus content. I am going to start putting my comedy over there as well. I know tonight I wasn't very funny. It's not a switch I can turn on and off. So, but I've been doing right at the end of the year last year, at the end of camping season. I started recording some Mountain Monster style videos where it's me out in the woods looking for creatures. It's silly. I know it is, but I hope people enjoy it because it's a lot of fun to make. And I just like having fun, especially when I'm camping and a few PBRs in my system. So, all right, everybody. Good night. Merry Christmas. Right now, I am scheduled to have a live on Saturday. Need to double check with my guest, make sure she's still available. We're going to be talking vampires in Dayton, Ohio. There's been a viral meme, or I don't know what you want to call it, article that's been going around on Facebook about possible vampires in Dayton at a certain nightclub that I used to frequent when I was a kid. So, and so did she. So we're gonna try to put some of those rumors to bed, but we're gonna dig into it a little bit and tell everybody uh, why this article even exists. So, hope to see you on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If not, just keep watching the socials, and I'll be doing lives very soon. Make sure you check me out on TikTok too. I'm going to start doing more lives over there. So talk to you later. Gotta go.